Why you should never underestimate the quiet kid in your group project. My senior year marketing class required a group presentation worth 40% of our final grade. I got stuck with Madison, Tyler, and Chloe, three popular kids who expected me to do all the work while they took credit. You're good at research stuff, Madison said with a fake smile. We'll handle the presentation since we're better with people. For 3 months, I created a 47-page strategic analysis that could have been published in a business journal. Meanwhile, my group did nothing. They skipped meetings, ignored deadlines, and spent work sessions taking selfies. 2 weeks before our presentation, I sent them the complete project, PowerPoint slides, detailed notes, and a full script broken down by speaker. Madison finally responded, "Looks good. We'll just wing it from here. Thanks for doing the heavy lifting." The night before our presentation, they had a group chat about outfits and parties. No one mentioned practicing. I suggested we do a quick run-through before class. "Don't worry," Tyler laughed. "We've got this. It's just a presentation." What they didn't know was that Professor Williams asked brutal follow-up questions that exposed whether students understood their own work. So I made a strategic decision. The morning of our presentation, I created a second PowerPoint. Same topic, completely different analysis. I uploaded it to our shared folder and deleted the original. My new version looked professional, but every conclusion was wrong. I reversed financial data, recommended strategies that would bankrupt the company, and included research that contradicted basic business principles. When presentation time came, Madison confidently walked to the front of the class, Tyler loaded up my sabotaged PowerPoint, and Chloe distributed printed handouts of the fake analysis. For the first 5 minutes, everything seemed fine. Madison read directly from the slides with her usual confidence. Tyler clicked through charts he'd never seen before, and Chloe nodded along enthusiastically. Then Professor Williams started asking questions. "So you're recommending this company increase their marketing budget by 300% while simultaneously cutting their target demographic in half?" Madison froze. Yes, because market penetration? And this chart shows they should abandon their most profitable product line to focus on a market that doesn't exist? Tyler stared at the screen like it was written in hieroglyphics. That's what our research indicated. Professor Williams looked confused. "Your research suggests customers want to pay more money for fewer features?" Chloe jumped in desperately. "It's innovative thinking?" The class started snickering as my group members tried to defend increasingly absurd recommendations. They had no idea what they were presenting because they'd never bothered to understand the actual project. "According to your financial projections," Professor Williams continued, "this strategy would cost the company $50 million in the first quarter alone. Market disruption requires bold investments," Madison said weakly, clearly just throwing out business buzzwords. After 10 excruciating minutes of watching them crash and burn, Professor Williams called time. "That was certainly creative," he said diplomatically. "I'd like to speak with your group after class." When everyone else left, Professor Williams closed the door. "I'm gonna ask each of you some basic questions about your project," he announced. Starting with the research methodology, Madison, Tyler, and Chloe looked at each other in panic. For 20 minutes, Professor Williams grilled them on concepts they'd never learned. They couldn't explain a single chart, defend any conclusion, or even identify which company we'd analyzed. Finally, he turned to me. "And what about you? Do you have anything to add about your group's research process?" I pulled out my laptop and opened the original presentation, the real one I'd been working on for 3 months. "Actually, Professor Williams, this is the analysis I prepared based on our assigned research. I clicked through slides showing proper methodology, accurate data, and realistic recommendations. I spent the semester creating a comprehensive strategic analysis, but when my group members made it clear they weren't interested in understanding the material, I decided to see what would happen if they presented without actually knowing the content." Professor Williams studied both presentations side by side, then looked at my group members who were sitting there in stunned silence. "So you presented material you'd never seen before, defending conclusions you didn't understand, based on research you didn't conduct?" They had no defense. I got an A. Madison, Tyler, and Chloe got to retake the class next semester. The best part? Word spread about what happened, and suddenly everyone wanted me in their group projects. Turns out people respect you more when they realize you're not someone they can take advantage of.